Hey all, and this is the special Snowbrawl 3 event. This is an Earth Slayer event and Immortal Killer. These events are always fun. We have those global quests, plus the Snowball bosses. The snowballs themselves sometimes give decent items. You normally get a lot of coal from them though. So here's an Earth Slayer team. It doesn't do that much damage, but can be useful for the Snowball bosses. Then an Earth Commander deck as well, in case you want to make up something like that. Then a pretty standard Water Slayer team. So let's go over to my first team. So these are all cards that increase Earth Slayer attack with one big hitting damage boosting card. The first card is Terrors Unleashed. This increases Earth Slayer attack by 300%. Then Protectors of Prosperity. This increases by 2000%. As the ambush, but normally only 200%. This card is still pretty good by today's standards because of that big boost when ambushing. Then the next card, Earthen Drakes. Another decent card by today's standards, mainly because it has a self-damage increase, 150%. Then the final two cards don't give that much of an attack increase, 100% here. Then you can see here only 35%. So I would be replacing the end card here, Seabound Wayfarers, with something better if I can get it. Then the relics. This should be enough to break the 7 shields in total. There's the Immortal Relic that breaks the shields. Then just my best Earth Slayer relics pretty much. Nothing too exciting here. A pretty generic team. There we go. I may swap that relic here for Dogan's Axe since it's only level 1 and 1 pink star. Right, and let's go across to the Earth Commander team. Something you can try if you don't have a decent Slayer deck. Potent Pathfinders is the first card. Increases Earth Commander damage by 225%. Then Colossals of Corellis gives the next Earth Commander a 200% damage buff. Then Oasis Allies, this is the hitting card. Does increase self-damage by 150%. It's not as good as some other recent Earth Commander cards though, but it is the Immortal Killer card, kind of making it essential for the team. Then United Shardbearers again, increases Earth Commander damage. There's a passive here for another 50%. On the damage. Then Gifted Bladesmaster again, that's just to increase the damage even further. It's not a super effective team in any respect though, but might be useful for some of the weaker bosses up until Radiant or the guild bosses. Then for the team over here, you've all seen this team before if you've watched some of my previous videos. I will talk through it again though while I'm here. Holiday Saints, this gives a 500% damage buff to any water hero, doesn't matter if it's Slayer or Commander. Then Metaverse Masters, a commonly used card, even though it's getting quite old now, a 150% damage buff to any card. Then Sovereigns of the Dance, this is boosted up by the previous two cards, converts the Dark Gems to water and increases self-damage. Frontier Titans, again, increases Water Slayer damage, this time by 130%. Then High Performance Unit Area, after you take a hit, that's used to get supercharged up. Once you have the supercharged up, that increases Immortal Killer attack by 2500%. That goes on Sovereigns of the Dance to increase the damage even further. Then for the relics, Cater's Bow on the team, since it doesn't matter too much about getting the water gems at the start. I can pretty much use any relics as long as I have broken all the shields. This is always useful as it has a slight increase to attack. Here's the Immortal Relic. There should be another one here as well. Yeah, there's the second one. Those two break all the shields. Since there's dark cards on the team, then just two other relics, pretty much my best Water Slayer relics. There we go. So nothing spectacular, but should be enough to get me through this event. And then I can focus on the Light Commander event when I should have some really good decks. So there we go, let's get on with the actual event. Here we go. Alright, so here's the actual event. Firstly, we do have a Snowbrawl at 3 boss up, so I'm going to take care of that. These are pretty easy to take care of. Even an Earth Commander deck can take care of the Fire one. Well, the one I've made up here can anyway. So let's go ahead and attack this. Just bear in mind, if you are in a guild with a lot of active players, do give them a chance to tag the boss before you defeat it. Or just tag it yourself and let someone else take care of the boss. Nothing worse than these bosses being killed the second they spawn. They do give reasonable rewards. Well, sometimes they do anyway. It's a snowball item. And you trade them. Often they give coal, but sometimes you get better stuff like heroes and relics. Occasionally you will get a golden snowball from one of these bosses, but they are unbelievably rare. Right, let's get on with the Radiant boss you can see here. In all honesty, the only team that can really do any serious damage to bosses is the Water Slayer team. I do not have anything good Earth related for a Slayer event. I will go ahead and try all 3 teams on this boss though. Probably just hit it once with the Slayer team, then quit out. As most of you probably know by now, I don't really play Slayer. I want to enjoy Christmas rather than spend ages on this game, so I'm just using old cards here. Probably won't do too much damage. I'm sure I can make something better than this as well if I really look through my cards. But it's just to give an idea for something you could use. And here's the damage. Keep an eye on the middle card. That will be the highest damage. 6.6Q. That's not actually too bad. It's better than I thought it was going to hit for anyway. Right. Then move across to the Commander team. Repeat the process. Then I'll go ahead and finish it off with the Water Slayer team. Assuming this doesn't defeat it. Let's see how the damage on this team compares to the Slayer team though. I don't think it will do as much damage, to be honest. The middle card is not optimal if I am being honest, but let's see. Match the 2 highest power gems, 1 loose power gem at the bottom. Then the damage is 4.1Q on the middle card, slightly under the Earth Slayer team. There's not really any real difference in the teams though, if I'm being honest. The bosses have Vessel and 1 other easy skill I seem to remember. So you shouldn't have too many problems with the defender skills on the bosses this time around. And this will be the biggest hitting team for sure, but you can't use it on the very first turn. You have to get area going first, then go left to right. So firstly use Metaverse Masters, match anything on the board like so. Then on the next turn use area as long as the turn counter on the enemy is on 1. Keep an eye on that just so you use it at the right time. Then just go left to right, and that's all you have to do with this team. The problem is it's slow and the event deck is really powerful, so you probably won't be able to hit other people's bosses with this team. You will only be able to hit your own, but it is always a pretty good standard option if you are struggling for ideas. It always does reasonable damage if you have these cards, or cards similar to this. You can see here, 70Q on the middle card, nice. So there we go, that's the boss defeated anyway. That gives you an idea of what sort of damage I could do this time around. The Drill Fist offer may help me out a little bit with the Earth Slayer team. We may also get some useful cards from the Snowbrawl event itself. So there we go, that's my teams in action. I do have a few of the snowballs. I'm going to go ahead and open them just to show you all what sort of items you get from these. Normally coal, if it's the same as last time. Yeah, the holiday coal comes up rather often. Oh, there's a card. Okay, there's another card. So yeah, you do get a few semi-decent cards. Well, I say semi-decent, I mean cards that you can sell for dust, not Generation 2 garbage. You can see though, most of this is coal. It's a useful event for getting dust basically. There we go, 2 cards out of all of those. The event itself is over here. So you can see here the quests. Throw 25 snowballs at guild members. I should have quite a few already that I can use. 19. I'm not far off completing that quest when I use those. 5 guild members and 100 guilds. That shouldn't be too difficult, but it does get harder as the event progresses. Then all the quests here we need to work together to try and complete to get that lovely ultimate form. We only need to complete 10 out of the 12 quests, so that shouldn't be too difficult. Well, hopefully not anyway, depending on what the global quests are like. I know many players and guilds only really play on the first day of the event. Then this over here, there we go, Snowball Lover. You get extra snowballs based on where you finish. The golden snowball for finishing top 1000 could be quite useful, so I will try and hopefully finish there. Now to claim the event collection. This is a bit disappointing considering the event. It's just these legend souls, completely useless in all honesty. We do have the season choice coins and the gems. And there's an orb of EXP there as well. Let's go ahead and claim this. Don't know why this is still a collection if I'm being honest. Very junky rewards. Oh well, there's not too much we can do about that. Apart from sell the cards for dust, of course. That's about its only use nowadays. Anyway, let's see what it is this time around. So I am in Legends, and there's only one Legends League. I can't see myself staying in Legends though, as I'm simply not active enough nowadays. But we will see. It is a new Water Dragoon, Abominable Snow Squatch. Quite hard to say that. It's hard to really say much about these Dragoons though until you can see what they specialise into. But that's what it looks like currently anyway. Defender skill, fear. Counter skill, dispel, might. Right, let's go out of here. Go ahead and claim that random 6-star hero. Right, there we go. Let's go ahead and claim this. Let's see what I get as the bonus hero. Hopefully it's the hero I am missing. I don't think it was though. That was part of the Druids deck, if I remember correctly. Anyway, here's the event ultimate form. Snowball Sentinels. Increases Earth Slayer damage by, wait for this, 350%. And creates a lot of power gems. Also increases self-damage against water and fire enemies. Plus an upgrade skill. So this is probably going to be the best deck in the season. With ridiculous buffs on the card. And more than likely the one to get. Plus it does have a self-damage increase as you saw. But only on certain types of enemies. Plus it's Immortal Killer. So in other words, it has pretty much everything going for it. Out of the 2 individual cards, Joy's Deliverance. This has the increase to Earth Slayer damage, so would be the card to get. Plus the self-damage increase, which isn't really useful on a non-ultimate form. but 350% damage increase. That makes this card worth getting on its own. The other card, though, Santa Ward of Wintertide, only creates the power gems and upgrades, so that on its own is pretty much useless. Don't just get this half of the deck, well, unless you get lucky with the vault and get it anyway. Using your coins just to get that, though, would be utter insanity, if I'm being honest. Alright, and here's the news feed. 24-hour Pink Star offer if you got the event Ultimate form on the first day of the event. You can see here, it says about it there. Then the Snowbrawl event itself here. You can see all of this. Holiday Pass, Snowbrawl returns, Snowbrawl bosses, daily quests. Then the eligibility at the bottom. Probably quite important to read that just in case you do decide to change guilds mid-event. And there we go, that's what the newsfeed looks like. I always enjoy these Snowbrawl events. I probably won't play it that much, as I may have already mentioned, but I still enjoy just popping on, trying to get those daily quests done, and throwing a few snowballs. And that marks the end of this video. I hope you found that interesting and enjoyable. If you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is always very much appreciated. We have a previous video on the screen, plus a playlist, plus you can also subscribe from here if you want to do so. Thanks for watching and Merry Christmas!